NDC Joseph Yammin, NDC for national organizer, ena ne ho aba asem, ena me nso medi ne nyina ebrel kama ewa akoma TV. So fast forward the go run nsem mo den yakoso ewo NDC for akachi. Joseph Yammin, omo national organizer, ena ne ho aba asem chese Bank of Ghana for omo bullion bana transport omo minerals bi ede akọ bebi abakodi djuma no ena Joseph Yammin onye the boys omakọ akọ stop sa bullion van no say omo so omo the gold bi coin ifa ntino no the boys no omakọ akọ stop aban car Bank of Ghana car ko ne bebi abakodi djuma ede ama Ghana no ena Joseph Yammin NDC for national organizer onye the boys omakọ akọ stop sa asem bus no anase bullion van na so mo aba asem a yache omo nyina me ni nyina brew ewo acromatic so do man ko na yenko gi asem nchiri mu ankasa ne ba ejidi aka nya so muso kama ewo acromatic ya
EMMC operations at the National Assay Center. And it reads, the Precious Minerals Marketing Company, which by law acts as the national assayer, has noted with deep concern an incident that occurred at the National Assay Center located at the Aviance Cargo Terminal, where a mob led by a gentleman who identified himself as Mr. Joseph Yammin, the national organizer of the National Democratic Congress, forcibly attempted to seize bullion bars being processed by PMMC for the Central Bank of Ghana. The incident occurred on Tuesday, 17th December 2024, between the hours of 16 hours GMT, lasting till about midnight. The bullion bars belong to the Bank of Ghana. That is what the statement says. The bullion bars belong to the Bank of Ghana as part of the ongoing domestic gold purchase program, which was launched as far back as June 2021. The bullion bars were being assayed to confirm their weights, purity, and consequently value. It was during this assay that the process was disrupted by a mob led by Mr. Yammin with the allegation that the said bullion bars were being smuggled secretly out of Ghana by certain political actors, which allegation is false. And by the way, this being false is what the PMMC is saying, not what we are saying. We are trying to get to the bottom of the matter. Now, the PMMC and the Bank of Ghana had to call the intervention of the police, and after several hours of a standoff, it was agreed that the bullion bars be moved to the Greater Accra Regional Police Command for safekeeping until this morning, with the hope of a resolution to the issue. It is worthy of note that a private exporter who is duly licensed to carry out exports was also affected by this unfortunate incident. The gold, which was being processed for export by the private licensed exporter, was also added to the bullion belonging to the Bank of Ghana. This unlawful action is deeply regrettable and has the potential of causing significant harm to Ghana's reputation on the international bullion market. Such disruptions not only undermine the confidence of legitimate international gold buyers, but also threatens the country's standing as a trusted player in the global gold trade. Furthermore, these acts place the Ghanaian men and women who are lawfully discharging their duties at significant risk. The dedicated staff who are committed to ensuring compliance with Ghana's strict regulatory standards should not have to face threats or intimidation while performing their legitimate responsibilities. This creates a hostile environment and undermines the very systems designed to ensure transparency and integrity in Ghana's gold trade. It is important to emphasize that a simple verification with the relevant authorities, including the PMMC and the Bank of Ghana, would have clarified the legitimacy of the process and avoided such an embarrassing and damaging situation. But over here, I'll pause briefly when it talks about verification. If there were some sleight of hand, I'll get to that later. If we were to get someone from the PMMC, that would have been easy to ascertain, because honestly, some of it doesn't make sense in my mind, but we'll get to that. The management of the PMMC stands resolute in its commitment to ensuring transparency, accountability, and compliance with all legal and regulatory standards governing the export of gold. We will continue to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to safeguard the integrity of Ghana's gold trade. PMMC reiterates its commitment to upholding the mandate as national assayer and will not relent in promoting responsible gold trade to protect and advance the interests of Ghana's precious minerals industry. And this was issued by Corporate Affairs of the PMMC, Diamond House, Accra. Let me bring in Mustafa Gbande. He is Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, and he joins the conversation. Mustafa, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
This is a crucial issue. It is our gold, and per what the PMMC says, these
Joseph Yammin, NDC Joseph Yammin, national organizer, or no, and a buying in Sunimuana police phones in Sumu because a bullion bar and as a bullion van, air transport gold bars, binade, a their call location be on behalf of the government, you know, and a NDC organizer, Joseph Yammin, who organizing the boys, and no market cost of bullion bars, you know, and a bullion van, no. And I say I buy a invite a minerals commission and I say be a company now more transporting we need to say invite police for and no monsa into a year Joseph Yammin and then the boys no and I see I know and one send be a bar must be in a bro our chromatic so the for my uncle now yes I'm got to answer Miss nearby and that can hear some so come our chromatic here.
These were official processes being undertaken by the national assayer. And Joseph Yammin, your national organizer, interrupted this process. The question is, why?
All right. So, good morning to yourself and your cherished listener. I hope my sister is in the studio.
She's out and about.
Okay. Now, it's very unfortunate the statement I'm seeing from PMMC.
Why?
With respect, I think in the morning of the day this arrest was made, I called into the chief executive of PMMC and told him that we had information that there was a movement of gold reserve which belongs to the state.
That is the 17th, the day this happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Around what time? Around what time did you call him?
In the morning, around 10.
Okay.
And he denied. He told me there was nothing happened. In fact, I actually detailed a team to go there and verify, and the team met him.
Whom just go along with me. I want whom exactly did you speak to? The name. I know you said the chairman.
I forgot the gentleman's name, but I'll check whilst the conversation is ongoing.
So you spoke with him earlier in the day, and he said that nothing like this was going to happen.
Yes, that was exactly what he said. Then in the evening, this issue of bullion van then came into the public domain. And so what we did was to ask a team to go and check if it was true that the bullion van was carrying some gold. When they got there, indeed it confirmed that the bullion van was carrying the gold, and they had even discharged the gold, preparing to put on Emirate flights that evening. So at about 4 p.m., they were there and they stopped the movement. I personally called the airport police commander that this was what we intercepted, and so he should go and take over. So they went there. The airport police commander, Dr. Siedu, was there. I personally phoned National Security for a stand-up and told them that this is what information we have had at the airport. Our boys are there, so therefore National Security should intervene. If you find out from them, they will confirm. And so the whole proceeds, or whatever the subject matter was, ended up to be about 400 kilos of gold, purporting to be coming from Bank of Ghana. So it was taken back to the regional police command, and yesterday everybody followed up, and the gold was returned to Bank of Ghana's reserve until the new government takes over. So I don't see where this capricious unwarranted letter is coming from.
How did you come by this? How did you come by this that they will return to the central bank's reserves until the new government takes over? Where did you get this assertion from? Who confirmed that to you?
To the best of my knowledge, yesterday the team were there. They met with the police and there were discussions. So at the end of the day, they agreed that the gold be returned to Bank of Ghana.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is until the new administration takes over. That part I don't know about.
You recall that a joint letter between the transition team was brought out to the effect that all major transactions that the government undertake should be discussed at the transition level.
That has been disputed. That has been disputed by Fatima, the information minister, who says, Fatima Abubakar, who says that such arrangements purportedly are not what were discussed at that meeting. I saw what Felix Kwachiofosu put out, and I've seen what she has put out on behalf of the MPP's end of the transition team. And they say that they are not fettered. They are still in government until the 6th of January. And so that is not what was agreed upon. So if you're referencing that, I'm sorry, this is what they've also said.
Well, even that, this is not the first time Akapo, you go and buy a car and then somebody comes to impound a car as a suspicious asset. You show your documents. When your documents are genuine, you take them back. This is not the first time it's happened. It's happened in several instances, and it's actually law that any subject matter of suspicion must be referred to the police. The police will verify, look at it, and then will determine the veracity of how true it is. They claim that the gold, it belongs to Bank of Ghana, a private individual is sending it, and it is done by ASE and all of that. The processes will be verified and checked. As long as the gold belongs to government of Ghana, it is what it is. We just have to go through the processes and determine the veracity of it. It's not about this long letter they have written, but it's about looking at the issue. That is why it was handed over to the police. So when you refer Joseph Yammin as a gentleman who tried to disrupt, nobody disrupted. They went to the airport. In the room where the gold was they removed it from the van and kept it in the room. They met officials, they discussed, they didn't touch it, they brought in the police. The same way, we were in Ashanti region, we impounded thousands of bags of fertilizer in an abandoned government of Ghana fertilizer in an abandoned house. And that is fertilizer meant for farmers. Would they say that because government is still in place? So how vigilant is the government that its officials are taking state assets left, right, and center?
Just confirm for me. I want us to address really salient issues in the course of the conversation. Some of what you say, I want us to substantiate. So let's go back a bit, right? You said you spoke to the managing director of the Precious Minerals Marketing Company. Did you speak to Nana Akwesi Ewua, the lawyer? Is he the one you interacted with?
Yeah, I think so. That's the one, I think so.
No, I want you to be specific. Is he the one? Nana Akwesi Ewua?
He's the one I spoke to.
He's the one you spoke to. And you can confirm to me, and of course, we could check your phone to find out whether there are any call records.
Yes.
You spoke to him earlier on the 17th, which was Tuesday.
Tuesday morning.
And when you spoke to him about the suspicion of some gold being sent outside the country, he told you that no such thing was going to happen that day.
They said they were not moving any gold from the reserves.
From the reserves?
Yeah, that's what exactly he said.
The gold that was, held at KIA, was it from the reserves?
As far as the police investigation would confirm, as we are speaking, the police who are the party, in charge of this matter, are yet to speak to the public as to what they have found and informations that they have gathered as far as the gold is concerned. But preliminary, what I do know is that PMMC is a government entity. Ghana is also a government entity. They've confirmed that the gold belongs to government and that it was a legitimate transaction. It is for the police to do their verification and then tell the public what they have found and the details. If it matches what the PMMC is saying or to the contrary, then we can all take it from there. But as far as I'm concerned, we as citizens have a duty to ensure that government properties are protected and that same are not stolen. In the event that the authorities who are supposed to be in charge are not able to see, of course, they won't see everything. Where you sit as a good journalist, not every story that gets to your table. It goes through a lot of situations, then you get to know. In the event that the authorities are not even able to see, the law depends on the citizens to help the authorities to become aware. And when we have discharged that responsibility, it should come with some level of applause and applause for vigilance. It's now left for the authority, the right authority, to look into the matter. Tomorrow, as you said, the police can walk to your place and arrest you on suspicion. When they investigate you and you are not culpable to anything, you are asked to go. That is the nature of our law. And so when that happens and they are jumping around and trying to create a situation as if some criminals have gone to intercept what legitimate thing they were doing, it's wrong. That was not the case.
But you see, the important thing is that even in the instance you give, if the police conducts an arrest and it is done wrongfully, there could be punitive measures and repercussions for the police. If they arrest me on whimsical, grounds, and I go through a court process and I can prove that, there could be malicious prosecution and the state could have to pay me damages. So there is a way of going about it. You say you reported to the police, right?
Yes, indeed.
And that is why the police went on the scene and then took custody. Hold for me, let's go step by step. And that is why the police went on the scene and then took custody of the gold, right?
That is correct.
And then took it to the central bank.
No, they took it to the police headquarters, the regional police headquarters that night.
The regional police headquarters. So as we speak, that gold is with the regional police headquarters, not the central bank.
Exactly. But as at yesterday, the last information I got in the evening, I'm not there, was to the effect that the gold was moved to Bank of Ghana, back to Bank of Ghana, for further investigations to be carried. And I do understand, because if you leave it at the police, they don't have safes where they can keep gold.
They don't have vaults, right? Vault.
Yeah, if anybody goes to steal them, then it becomes another matter. The safest place to keep them is under the institution that has the necessary logistics to keep them for further investigation. And I think that is a very simple matter. It's not a complex issue. So that is the only place that I do not understand is when he wants to deny that it was some mob of sort and some gentleman of a sort who tried to interrupt the process. It is wrong. The gold was at the airport. It was in the bullion van. And I'm sure that you would have been aware of the public outcry, not even from Joseph Yammin, but people crying, oh, they are stealing our gold, they are moving our gold. So therefore, if they have nothing to hide, they should submit themselves to the police, verify the documents, check what is happening, and that, the police, I'm sure, will cooperate and ensure that the right thing is done.
Mustafa, just hold for me, and Mustafa Bande, hold for me. Now, in law, he who alleges must prove. Okay,
yes.
I am all for ensuring that what belongs to the state remains with the state and that individuals don't unduly benefit from the largesse of the state or steal or pilfer. I am all for that. You know me. But the point is, if you are alleging, it is up to you to prove. That is one. The second bit, do you know what processes these gold bars go through in terms of when they are being taken out legitimately, when government is doing business? Do you know the process?
I don't deal in gold and I cannot speak to the processes.
Okay. The reason I ask is that if you don't know the full processes, then how could you, together with Joseph Yammin, have come to the conclusion that those bars being taken out were being smuggled out by nefarious characters and not through official channels like the PMMC is saying.
Nobody, Joseph Yammin never said so, and I've never said so. But whatever it is that people have made price over the movement of gold, and the same gold was sent in a bullion van. They have confirmed that it belongs to the government of Ghana. That is fundamental to the discussion.
For ensem de edoso pa chese bese mu nyina mu team se ma ekoso NDC fo aka chese 7 January kranya enso yempu ema ye handi over to me no emfa ma John Dramani Mahama mpuyi anase NDC fo mpuyi eno mo aka so ma start taking the law into their own hands chese bullion van transporting aban eniama minerals kwako serve government purposes no NDC for organizer Joseph Yammin and on the crop on the boys omakwa stop bullion ban and say hey omo transporting gold e dey akwa manone aban na transporting gold e dey akwa manone just because John Dramani Mahama any NDC for abanti no person mu exporting a gold na adi nyina e dey kwa manone etino we na yen sema ekoso na NDC Joseph Yammin na NDC fo nyina Deputy General Secretary Mustafa Gbandi na mo nyina mo ho aba asema medini nyina brew ewo acromatic haye odofo aha na mede nsem nyina besi ewo acromatic si ade makramo